everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of the DTBU news, where we're going to go over everything going on with the dice that binds us. I am the Rogue Cat, Whisper Rose. You'll have to forgive me if this episode's a little weird. I am having an allergic reaction to something. I am on crutches. I'm outside. It's a weird day today, but I was so excited to do this because I finally finished getting all the notes I needed last night. So here we go. So today we're going to go over episodes 74 and 74.5. So we've got two episodes today. We've got Baby Come Back, and we've got The Other Side of the Coin. So a little bit of recap of what happened in episode 73. The party ended up having to fight a dragon. Not just any dragon, one of the 10 deitic dragons named Zezum. And Zezum held the aspect of destruction. It was a tough fight. So tough, in fact, that along with a couple other party members who were easier to bring back, Parthos actually died. Like, Parthos dead. He dead. He dead for, like, the last fourth of the fight. At the end of the fight, though, while everyone else was fixing up themselves and everyone else who had gone down, Lysander walked over to Parthos and placed their shield... Sorry, loud cars. Like I said, I'm outside today. It's a little weird. But Lysander placed their shield Guilt Pact, which they had gotten from Lysander and Parthos' shared god, Sylvanus, on Lysander, and basically said, Sylvanus, bring him back or I'm gone. And Sylvanus granted the prayer, brought Parthos back, but sadly, it does mean that Guild Pact was broken in two. So everyone is reeling from that and dealing with that when we start this episode. When we start number 74. And we start off checking in on Tumult, who... he wasn't at the battle. From what I remember, he was sending letters, I want to say. Just doing general Tumult-like things. Basically off doing his own thing. You know, working with the genie that he's fused with. All that fun stuff. But he wasn't there. And I think because of what's happened in the past, and because of the glimpses that we have gotten actually to see into what Tumult is thinking, I think he's blaming himself. Not only that Parthos died, but also that Guild Pact is broken. And so he does what Tumult does when he blames himself for something bad happening and goes searching for more power. And he decides that the best course of action to find more power, or to get more powerful, is to contact Quaxal, the leader of the 10 deitic dragons, okay, who they've already encountered once, and who basically told them, don't fuck with the dragons and I won't fuck with you. Tumult contacts Quaxal and starts asking Quaxal for their aspect. The thing that if they give up, they die. Like, no, Tumult, no. Like, the fact that you did not get roasted, okay? Shoot, all I'm sitting here thinking is, I'm gonna bite you, I'm gonna bite you, I'm gonna bite you. I'm a kitty cat, okay? And all I wanted to do was bite and claw you. Like, the fact that Quaxal did not burn you to a crisp, Tumult. You one lucky big blue guy with some big blue polka dots on you. That's all I gotta say about that conversation that you had. That's all I got on that subject. But, and then after that, you're like, well, that doesn't pan out. So what does Tummel do? What does he do? Anybody? What does he do? He goes to talk to Dianthos. He goes to talk to Lysander's treacherous, Xerxes supporting, Xerxes leading. I'm not gonna cuss. I told myself I wasn't gonna cuss on this. So, anyways, yeah, he goes to talk to Dianthos, who last time he spoke with him, let slip, maybe, that they knew where an aspect was that they thought would be perfect for Tummel. Of course, at that point, Tummel was like, I got other options. But now he's like, someone just died. And I'm not okay with that. So he goes and he talks to Dianthos, and conversation basically goes, dude, tell me about that aspect. Dianthos, dude, no. Well, yes, but in circles. He's great at that. He's great at talking in circles. Oh my God, is he great at that? Like, I hate Dianthos. We paints our nails. We paints our claws with the warm rubies that drip from him. We kill Dianthos now, please. Can we please kill Dianthos? But no killing of the Dianthos. No, instead we just talk circles around the circle talker and get the circle talker to admit that the Goliath that y'all fought earlier, and that Olan, out of sheer rage at seeing the love of what I believe is the love of his very long, very extensive life, bloodied and barely standing and just ripping this Goliath apart with their bare hands. He sees that, and he sends the Goliath barreling through time and space. No clue where he's landed. Dianthos has no clue where he's landed, but he knows that Goliath has an aspect because it was given to him by Xerxes. So now he kills him? No. Now he just leaves. Now he leaves. Tumult. Swing first, ask questions later, maybe? Or, I don't know, transport him to Alt's dimension and let Alt swing first, and then you ask the questions? Maybe? But no. So, after that, we jump over to see what Lysander has been up to this morning. Now, as I said, the day before, Tepartos died, and Lysander had to use Guild Pact to bring him back. And that caused Guild Pact to break in two. Well, really, ever since Lysander had talked to their brother Dianthos, they've been having a little bit of a battle. Dianthos is very good at talking. And so Lysander's been fighting with the best way to go about what they want to accomplish, which is their loved ones safe and healthy and happy and not having to fight constantly, not having to harm constantly. They want peace. And so they've been going, basically driving themselves insane, trying to figure out the best way to do this. And this morning, when we see them, they are writing a note. And when they finally get it right, they slide it under Olan's pillow. And then they go and find BB. And talk to BB and end up signing a contract with him that basically states that for a random item later on, like an item of BB's choosing, BB will obey Lysander. And then Lysander informs BB that they are going on a trip. And they need to know if BB can still track Dianthos. BB's like, yeah, I will always know where Dianthos is. Not a problem. She's like, and Lysander's just like, okay. Leaves and goes to talk to Dianthos. Now, as Lysander is arriving to speak to Dianthos, Tumult is leaving. A quick, hey, how's it going? I'm gonna go talk to my brother. Whatever. But, they go into the room. And they tell Dianthos, show me Xerxes. Show me what this is really about. Show me that plane of order that you told me about. Show me Xerxes. And they leave. Lysander uses their well of many worlds or cauldron of many worlds, whatever it's called, and opens it up, and they end up in the Shadowfell. Now, at this point, we jump over to Argus, who is basically the cell guard. It's the simplest way to explain it. And he's like, okay, Lysander's been in there a while. It's time to shut this down. Goes in and sees nothing. There's no one there. And rightfully so, he goes storming out of his room and hollers at everybody that there needs to be a group meeting. Everybody on deck. Well, pretty much everyone shows up except for Tpartos and Olan. And Argus, instead of going and taking a second to breathe, Argus still fuming, goes to drag Tpartos up to the deck. And when we see when Argus finds Tpartos is half on his bed, half off, obviously hasn't slept, and very obviously has been doing nothing but crying all night long. He hates how easy he is to take down. All he wants to do is keep people safe. He is a healer. He is a cleric. He doesn't want to hurt people, but he doesn't want to see anybody hurt either. And he too has found himself, just like Lysander, in this weird position where, in order to save the most, he's gotta cause pain. And it's destroying him. And you can just tell. And when Argus storms into his room, throws open his door and storms in and tells Tpartos to get his ass upstairs because Lysander's gone. Tpartos is blank. He's blank. He eventually gets up and goes upstairs, and Argus tells everybody what happened. He tells them about Tumult going in to talk to Dianthos, and about as Tumult was leaving, Lysander came in to talk to Dianthos, and he noticed the time. Lysander was in there for a while, and he noticed the time, and he went to go check on them, and they were gone. Keep in mind, nobody knows whether Lysander left willingly or not. But they all do know that Lysander's been having a crisis, and that Dianthos is good at talking. He's silver-tongued, that's for sure. So everyone just goes through a range of emotions from shock and anger and horror and depression, and Gum Gum pulled out a bullet and carved Diantos' name into it. Everyone is having these massive reactions, except for BB. And Tumult, being the annoying, observant little that he is, notices. He also notices that Lysander is, or that Tepartos is shut down. And he pulls Tumult. Sorry, like I said, painkillers. Tumult pulls Tepartos aside. And in a not so gentle way tells him to snap out of it. With Lysander gone, you are the captain. You see these people? You see your friends? You see your family? They need you right now. Yes, you are hurting. Yes, this sucks. But you're in charge. And so you need to step up. And while that's going on, Argus is just still fuming, just like, what are we going to do? Are we going to go find Lysander, or are we just going to move on with the mission? Like, this is not okay. Like, worst comes to worst, Lysander was kidnapped by Diantos, and Diantos somehow had a way out. Like, that's the worst case scenario. Like, no, actually, that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, Lysander has turned traitor, which means none of us are fucking safe now, so we need to figure out what the fuck we're doing and get on the move. Fine. Nobody has an answer? Fine. We need resources. Turns to the Tepartos and goes, Captain, I'm flying the ship out over to where the dragon came out so we can go through its horde. That I think was the final slap, was Argus, because Tepartos is like, yes, Argus, do that. Let me know when we get there. Ileana, Tumult, and BB, downstairs. We need to talk. We need to figure everything out. And at this point is when we actually kind of, yeah, it's a lot that's happened. And then, so they go downstairs, and Tepartos looks at them and goes, what do we do? Like, he has no clue. That's why he asked for the three beings that he believes are the most, I don't want to say intelligent or wise, because that's not quite, the most learned. Let's go with the most learned. Because he has no clue. And Tumult's like, I don't know. I do know one thing, though. BB, you know something. BB's like, well, yeah. I mean, I talked to, like, just talk circles around Tumult. You know, does admit that he spoke to Lysander this morning. Admits there was a contract. Or admits that Lysander asked him to do some stuff and was getting information from him. Blah, blah, blah. And so, but eventually, the part is just like, look, whatever. What are we going to do about Lysander? That's, like, we have to find them. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We have to find Lysander. And Ileana is like, well, I mean, I have this way that I can send a message. Can't get a reply, but I can at least let them know of a time and place to meet us. Or at least to meet me. And Travis like, all right, you compose that. I'm going to go find Olan. And so Tepartos goes off to find Olan. I don't remember if Tumult stays in the room or if I think he goes off to do his own thing. It's Tumult. If he's not specifically told to do something, he's usually in his room doing his own thing. And whatever he's doing is usually going to give Tepartos a migraine. So Tepartos doesn't ask anymore. So Tepartos goes and he finds Olan in Olan and Lysander's shared room. Is sitting on the floor, looking exhausted, with a note in his hands. And it's the note that Lysander left, basically saying goodbye and I'm sorry. And Tepartos starts going in on Olan a little bit. I understand it. I do it all the time, but taking out his emotions on Olan. And Olan starts going in on Olan about how, you're this powerful Arcanist magnate and you're the best with teleportation magic. Like, go find them. No one's like, I've been trying. That's why he's so exhausted. He's been portaling everywhere he can think of, everywhere he has ever been. And Olan is not young. Olan was cursed. He is old. Like, old. So he's been a lot of places. But he still hasn't found Lysander. And eventually Tepartos just gets so done with everything, I feel, that he snaps at Olan to either to get off his butt and do something. Either get off your butt and help us find Lysander, or get off your butt and go find them yourselves and join them. Because if you're not going to be of use to us, we don't need you here. It's basically what I feel he said. Now, Tepartos might correct me. It might be something completely different. But that's what I feel was going on in his head. And then he goes and he returns to Ileana, who has composed the note with the meeting place. And Ileana asks if Tepartos wants to add anything, if he wants to put anything else in this box. Like, they know that Lysander will know who it's from. And if Lysander chooses to open it, it will not return to them. If Lysander ignores it, then it will. Tepartos is like, nope, just put that in there and send it. So they do. And the box returns. Now, while all of this is going on, Argus has flown them to the spot where the dragon came out, landed the ship on the water, and dived in. Completely forgot that he was told by the captain to let him know when they were there. But he dives in, goes all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, where he finds these humanoid-sized holes in the floor, covered with some sort of barrier. It seems like it might be glass. Kind of, I personally pictured the Lost City of Fair from the Pendragon series as what I pictured, with just this like glass-like dome that's kind of been covered over with the seafloor. There's still places where you can see it. But yeah, that's what I pictured. So he's down there for about 2 hours, trying to do whatever he can to break these glass windows open. And nothing. Until about the 2-hour mark, when Soup and Garagak are like, he's been down there for a bit too long. Let's go check it out. And not tell anybody what we're doing. So Garagak eagle dives? Bird dives? He does this really fancy dive with his wings and his battering ram. and just plummets to the bottom. When he lands, he sees Argus, goes over to him, and Argus motions to him about the glass and tells him to break it with the battering ram. So, what does Garagak do? He does what a Garagak do. He break the glass. Him and Argus go falling into this cavern-like area, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Managed to not get hurt, which is great for them. But as that happens, Soup witnesses it, because Soup was still swimming down. Like, Soup's not a show-off. And he sees this happen. And he basically comes skyrocketing back out of the water onto the deck of the ship and starts just yelling at the top of his lungs, "They've been eaten by the ocean floor! They've been swallowed by the floor! They've been swallowed by the..." Like, just sounding the alarm. And as he's doing this, Tumult goes up to him and he's like, "Dude, we're over the spot where the dragon was. They probably found the way into the dragon's nest." And Soup just looks at him. Serious face. Like, completely serious. Dead serious. And goes, "I know that they found the dragon's lair. That's what I'm afraid of." Turns around and runs back up on deck, yelling, "Anybody who's coming, get up here now." Everyone gets up there, and they all go down to the cave, down to the dragon's nest. A couple of people stay on board to protect the ship. You know, you don't leave your ship undefended, ever. But yeah. And so we end episode number 74. Lysander's gone. Olan is actually gone. Tapartos did try to collect Olan to go help Argus and Garagak, and he was gone. And the majority of our party, of our adventuring team, are down underneath the ocean floor in a dragon's lair. So that's fun. Like, it was a hard episode. Like, I'm not lying and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you guys it took me 3 days to get through this episode. But the fact that it was so hard to get through is honestly, to me, why it is so good. Like, yes, I just told you a bunch of stuff, but you do need to make sure you go and you watch the show. Because there is so much. Like, I know I'm forgetting so much, but so much happens each episode. And that, like, there are a lot of fun episodes. There's a lot of fun, like, a lot of episodes where I'm just rolling around laughing, like, scaring my husband, scaring my daughter, scaring whoever's near me while I'm watching, because I am, like, dying from laughing. And then there are episodes like this, where it's tough to get through, but it's that good kind of tough to get through. You know that if you can get through it, something's going to happen. Something will come from this. And what comes from this is amazing. Because from here, we go to episode 74.5. The other side of the coin. And in this episode, we start picking right up with Lysander and Dianthos in the Shadowfell, waiting for BB to arrive to take them to the Plane of Order. Now, I gotta say, as far as the Plane of Order goes, I'm not gonna get too far into this, because I don't want this to turn into a 3-hour-long rant about why the Plane of Order really pisses me off. So I'm just going to stick with the fact that the Plane of Order is still around and the Plane of Chaos is gone. I don't want to go to the plane of order. I don't want to go there. I don't want to be there. Like, no. Order is not peace. Order is, it is control. It is strict control. And that is not right. I'm sorry. That is not right. Well, the plane of chaos was straight up chaos. Like, it really was. It was so much fun. So much fun happened in Dandyland. And there was so much, like, in a time of not necessarily peace, but not upheaval. I feel like that plane, I want to go to Dandyland. I want to go there. But I can't. But where can we go? The plane of order. And that is Xerxes' headquarters, is the plane of order. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. I would hate it. But, yeah, their actual home office is in Golden Fields, or as I am going to refer to it as, Depressing Fields, because I'm sorry, I know that farmers keep their stuff nice and neat. Not this. This is control. This is not tidiness to give the plants a better chance of survival. This is controlled. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. And I'm not okay with the fact that the shrine isn't there. Like, go back to the beginning of the show, learn about Golden Fields. Well, it'll be the Dandelion version of Golden Fields. It'll be the Chaos version of Golden Fields. But still, learn about, see it that way first. And this place is just wrong. Like, it's wrong. I would rather willingly walk naked into Mordor with the One Ring to go throw it into the mountain. No protection, nothing, than be on this plane of order. And I'm sitting here, and the whole time I'm going, okay, it's okay. This is a trick. Like, Lysander's just gonna gather information. They're gonna do what they can to derail Dandelion's plans, like to derail the travelers' plans. And then Dandelion himself shows up. And the second I hear that voice, all I can think is, Lysander, I don't care if you don't actually, like, kill him or do any damage, but activate your aspect and swing on him. He deserves, and I'm not a violent person, not really, but he deserves a flaming fist to the face. Bare minimum for what happened at Grootog. And instead Lysander bows down. Lysander says, well, I don't agree with your methods. They're working better than ours. And if you can bring about what my brother says you can, I'll do whatever it takes. And I gotta tell you, watching that, hearing those words, that was a knife to the heart. It really was. I love you, Lysander. And I understand. I do. I understand where your head is at. At least I believe I do. I believe I understand. But That killed me. That killed me. And so Dandelion's like, okay, well, I'm going to send you out to one of our field teams. And Lysander steps through a portal. Now at this point, we get to the good that comes from this lovely little heart-wrenching decision of Lysander's. We get to see an Ivan. We get to see an Ivan. Like, okay, for anybody who's watched the show, you remember when Ivan left. You remember how that all happened. For those of you who don't, basically, in order to save another party member, Ivan signed a contract, which, through some stuff, put him in the service of Xerxes. And not just under anyone's watch, but under Zephyros' watch. He's a giant, can't remember right now if he's storm or cloud, or I think he's a cloud giant. But he's a giant that we meet very early on. Literally the first episode that we, the viewers, get. Not the first thing that they ever, not their first session, but our first episode, we meet Zephyros. And Zephyros is a friend. So that's where Ivan gets sent. And now I know Al, I know you guys, you over there at DICE, keep saying like, Ivan left and we just forgot about him. I didn't. Practically every episode that happened, especially after Partos got the spell of sending, I was like, contact Ivan. Why haven't you contacted Ivan? You need to contact Ivan. You need to know what's going on with... Contact Ivan. We need to know what's going on. Is Ivan okay? What's going on with Ivan? Especially after the one time that you guys do contact him, and we get that cryptic message that could either have been a threat or a warning. And you guys still never, you guys just, okay, that happened, and moved on. How did you do that? Because I didn't do that. I'm just now getting closure. What did you say? 60-something episodes later? I'm just now getting closure. But I'm getting closure. And the closure is amazing. Let me tell you. Ivan shows up with Zephyros. Zephyros is just like, hey, man, I know you. I like you. So here's the thing. Zone of truth. Oh, good. You failed it. I got some questions for you. And starts asking him some questions and finds out, how Ivan got there and what's going on, and ensures that Ivan's loyalty is not to Xerxes, which it isn't. And Zephyros is like, awesome. See all this stuff around here? Yeah, I'm sent out to eliminate threats. They don't care how I do it, so long as they're eliminated in some way, so long as they're basically taken out of play. So I've been hoarding all this shit for you guys. Care to help? And Ivan, being the lovely tiefling? Tabaxi. No, he's a tiefling, but everyone thinks but he lets people believe he's a tabaxi. Either way, Ivan, being the amazing kitty cat that he is like, cool. So they go around, we see about 3 or 4 tasks that they're given. The first one is that they are to go to this town and eliminate a bloodline. This bloodline holds the ability to transfer deitic abilities from one, I'm not sure if it's a being or an object, to another. So, obviously very dangerous for Xerxes if these people are like, we don't side with you. Because then they could be giving powers to, Lysander, not Lysander. Well, I mean, at this point, because we're going back 8 months for this. So at this point, it would be like Lysander, Partos, Tempard, like for the group. And so Ivan and Zephyros go to this village, and they round up this family, bring them back to the tower that Zephyros lives in and flies in and everything. And they are able to transfer the ability in their bloodline to Hands. Ivan's familiar. Now, in case you're wondering, Hands is a octopus or a squid. Like, he's either an octopus or a squid, and he's, I want to say, 3 feet? 2 or 3 feet, I want to say. He's adorable. Like, he's so adorable. You got to go back to the beginning of the show and watch some of the stuff with Hands. He's adorable. But anyway, so they managed to get that done, and then they relocate the family. You know, powers are gone from them. They can no longer do this. As far as Xerxes is concerned, you know, the powers are under the abilities under their control, because they believe that Ivan is literally under their control. Of course, he's not. We don't know why, but he's not. And then the next task they're given is to go to this marsh area. Like, I know they said the name, but I can't remember it right now. So they go there, and they're tasked to find this chest. No clue what's inside it. No clue where in this massive marsh it is. But they have to find it. So they take about 2 weeks. And when they find it, Ivan's just like, well, I'm gonna open this up. Opens it up. And this powerful light basically shoots out and flies off. Now, personally, I am pretty darn sure that was an aspect. My only question is since this happened like about 6 months ago, is that how the Goliath got their aspect? Because I'm pretty sure they didn't find out about the Goliath, about there being 3 heads of Xerxes and the Goliath, till after Groothog. And I'm pretty sure this timing is like right around the time of Groothog. So I'm wondering if that's the aspect that initially in Alex's brain was recovered and given to the Goliath. But now that this has happened, if maybe that aspect shot out and found the Goliath. So I'm wondering if this is that aspect. Fingers crossed. I actually kind of hope it is. Because, yeah, I don't like the idea of a rogue aspect out there. I really don't. I've seen what these things can do. I've seen what they can do in the right hands, i.e. Lysander and Garagak. And I've seen what they can do in the wrong hands, i.e. the Goliath search dog, the Goliath kill dog, basically, of, and I just forgot their name, of Xerxes. Sorry, like I said, this is my first video, and it's a little off. I'm sorry. I'll get better. I promise. But so, when that happens, like, they go a few months before we actually see them get another assignment. And this assignment was tough for me, because he was sent to, they were sent to Silvery Moon, where we, the viewers, know reside the Arcanist Magnate. And we have quite a few friends there. And he was told to take advantage of the fact that the High Arbiter was dead. And that the village town, when that Silvery Moon, was basically in a time of civil war. And so, like, this is something that just happened. This is Olan's death. So we're talking, from the point when Lysander left the party, we're talking maybe 2-3 weeks max. Like, and that's me. I know it was like a week between when Olan left, when Olan died, and when we got him back. And I think maybe it was not even another week. Like, I think we're talking 10 days. 10 days ago, Ivan was at Silvery Moon. And he runs into one of our amazing friends who actually traveled with the party for a bit, he trained them. He did some training on them. And so that's who Ivan runs into, is the lovely, amazing, magnificent Zexum. Lots of Z names, right? So he tells Zexum that he's here for a book. Of course, he also tells Zexum that his friends, also known as the Chosen Ones, y'all need a better name. I'm gonna come up with a better name for you guys, because even I'm getting sick of it. Like, at first it was kind of funny, but even I'm getting sick of it. I'm gonna come up with a better name for you guys, if that's okay. And of course, I mean, yes, Ivan's lying, but he's not really lying. Like, he wasn't sent by them, but he's friends with them. And, like, I'm sure throughout his, like, month on the ship, Zexum has heard about Ivan. But this is his first time meeting him. But still. Sorry, give me a minute. Alright, sorry, I'm back. I just rolled my injured ankle a little weird. I was shifting positions. Anyways, Zexum takes Ivan to the vault where they keep this particular tome. And it turns out that it is rumored to be the first ever Arcanus Magnate tome. And that, according to legend, anyone who, when someone claims the tome, basically, they get all the power and abilities of the first ever Arcanus Magnate. So, of course, me in my head, knowing what Ileana's doing, knowing the party, there's only one logical solution of what Ileana needs to do. And it's that she needs to get that... Or, sorry, not Ileana, Ivan. Sorry. Too many names. Too many names, too much pain. But anyways, Ivan needs to get the book and give it to the one, the only, the Mr. I have such big blue coconuts, I'm gonna go annoy a dragon, Tumult. That's who it needs to go to. That's all that's going on in my head at this point. Tumult, 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 tumult. And finally, Ileana says, hey man, you have contact with my friends. Will you hold on to this book? And when next you see Tumult, give it to him. Tumult's gonna get a book. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know there were potentially safer people to give that book to. But come on. Who is gonna be able to best utilize and understand that book than Tumult. I don't think he needs an aspect. So since Tumult's getting that book, that means he doesn't need an aspect, which means, Alex, you can tell us what aspect the Goliath held and if you intended it for Tumult. That's what you should do. You should tell us, or at least tell me, and I promise I won't tell anybody minus my husband and my kid, but it's me. So Zexum's just like, I'm terrified of the idea of Tumult having this book, but at the same time, that makes sense. That makes sense. And so he does. And so he holds on to the book. Ivan also ends up leaving Hans with him to, again, be given to the party. He explained to Hans about the ability to transfer the deitic stuff. And was like, okay, so the party needs this, get these two things to them. And left. Now, of course, when he left, he accidentally told Bibi that there wasn't anything there, instead of telling Bibi the truth. Or, sorry, not Bibi, Zephyros. I'm gonna get these names straight. I promise you, I'm gonna get these names straight. But so, yeah. That wraps up that. And then we get to my favorite part of the episode. My favorite part. Ivan and Bibi, not Bibi, Zephyros. I'm gonna get this. Ivan and Zephyros receive a message from Xerxes, informing them that they will be getting a new team member. Who could that be? I think it's reunion time! And you betcha it's reunion time! Oh my goodness! Lysander appears at the foot of the tower. Zephyros sees them, scoops up Ivan, starts booking it down the stairs. And of course, the last time we saw Zephyros, he was going a little bit crazy because he just had a bunch of memories restored. Not good memories either. So he'd gone a little crazy. So Lysander just sees Zephyros. They just see Zephyros running at them, running straight at them. And they go into battle stance. And this is what I picture in my head. Zephyros skids to a stop at the bottom of the stairs, has this like massive like smile, like goofy smile on his face, opens up his hands, sets them down, and like presents Ivan. And so Ivan and Lysander have a very, honestly, given Lysander's headspace at the moment, a very appropriate reunion. I personally would have loved a little bit more excitement and feels and like happiness and almost a little bit of giddiness from Lysander, but I understand where their head's at. That's okay. I can be giddy enough for the both of us. But so, and they start talking, and it comes out that Lysander has decided to switch sides. Lysander's not there to be a double agent. Lysander's not there to screw Xerxes over. They're there to accomplish the goals. And that's when they get zoned to truthed. And Zephyros is like, okay, we've got like 2, maybe 3 options here. Because us two, me and Ileana, yeah, we're not helping Xerxes. Xerxes thinks we're helping them, but we ain't helping Xerxes. And Lysander's just like, wait, you're not? You're double... Ivan, you're a triple agent at this point. And so they get to talking, and Lysander's like, you know what? Awesome. If I can actually do things in a way that will help my friends and will help ensure that Xerxes' ultimate, their ultimate end justifies the means, their ultimate means doesn't happen, which is genocide, basically, then awesome. If I can actually be making calculatable progress, fantastic. And almost immediately after that, the three of them now are sent on a mission. A mission to go and ensure that no one ever enters the Temple of Anam again. Now, that's big. That has the potential to royally screw the party, because they need access to that temple. It's not even the giant relics. Screw the giant relics. Screw returning those relics. Screw getting that information. Screw that. They need access to that temple, so that way the giantess that they all believe should be the head of the ordning can be declared head of the ordning. They need that temple. So the three of them, they travel to the temple, and on the way there, and while they're there, they discuss how to do this. In the end, with the help and permission of Harshnag, the guardian of the temple, they decide that even if the party cannot see a way in, the party should have a way in, no matter what. So they collapse all the entrances. Of course, this also means that the giant spiders that Anuk befriended are dead. Or are going to be dead. Even if they didn't collapse the tunnels that the spiders are in, they collapse the exits. The spiders can't get out to get food. So that's further proof for Lysander that sometimes you got to do bad things for the greater good, I guess. But yeah, that's where we end that episode. And honestly, I'm not mad. I'm actually really hoping that we get more of these episode 0.5s, because especially now that we've got 2 party members and a friendly NPC traveling together, doing stuff that could potentially severely aid the party and severely mess up Xerxes. I really hope that whenever a thing that needs to be, that whenever Lysander and Ivan and Zephyros need to do something, that we actually get that episode. Even if it is 8.5, because it's happening at the same time as this episode or that episode. I really, really hope we get that. But yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else. Anything I forgot? No. If you guys want actual character breakdowns, just kind of stick around. I have a lot of things that I'm working on. This was just, and it's on me. I was feeling very much like I was letting them down, because I talked to the crew of The Dice That Binds Us about doing this a month ago. So I am just now recording my first episode. And I know life happens and they understand that, but I needed to do this feel better. So this is not the end result of what this channel is going to be. There's going to be a lot more. There's going to be me talking to you guys like this about episodes. I want to do character breakdowns. I want to, like, for the player characters and for the NPCs. I want to have actual discussions with you guys. Like, I want you guys to be watching the show and send me in questions and comments and things that you maybe feel like should be addressed, or shoot, maybe even a way you would have handled the situation. Like, forgetting the dice rolls, just thinking of this as a story. How would you handle the situation? I know I'm going to be telling you guys some of that stuff. But yeah, so anyways, this was the very first inaugural episode of the DTBU News with your host, the Rogue Cat, Whisper Rose. And yeah, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Go follow me on TikTok. I'm going to put that link in the description. It's just Whisper Rose. And also don't forget to watch The Dice That Binds Us Wednesday nights, okay? Like, you need to go watch it. If you think what I'm telling you is good, if you like what I'm saying is happening, you need to actually go watch it happen. I'm sorry, there's no excuse. There really isn't. If you've liked and followed me because of this, then you need to go watch them. And you need to go like and follow them and get on all of their social media platforms. They've got YouTube, obviously they've got YouTube, they've got Twitter, they've got Facebook, they've got TikTok, they've got Discord. They don't have an Instagram yet, but come on, Ian. Do it for the memes. You know you want to. You've even said it yourself. You're going to do it for the memes. So just, do it for the memes. Do it for the memes. But yeah, so I think that about wraps us up today. Everyone, stay safe. Stay healthy. I love you. Bye.